This Good Morning Northwest morning spread is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
All right, it's 6:53. Time to get you up to speed with what you need to know here in the morning sprint.
Olivia Roberts has an update for families in Grant County this morning.
But first, Mark Peterson tracking more patchy fog and cloudy skies for your Tuesday.
We like to call it the sameness. First alert weather, and that first alert weather app free and available. 28 degrees right now. 33 will be our high. We'll have temperatures a skosh warmer into Coeur d'Alene at 35. But into the central part of the state, temperatures around 30 degrees. There's no doubt about it. We're going to see temperatures warming up to 33, but by 11 o'clock, only 29 degrees expected.
Breaking news this morning, Pfizer is starting to compare its original COVID vaccine with doses specifically tweaked to match the Omicron variant. The company says it is studying the safety, tolerability, and level of immune response in 1,400 healthy adults. Some patients in the study will be getting the vaccine as both a primary dose and a booster dose. Despite this new clinical trial, Pfizer doesn't expect production of the original vaccine to be affected.
Efforts to slow the spread of Omicron come as its new subvariant is detected here in Washington. It's called BA.2, or the stealth variant, because it's so hard to detect. Experts say you could be sick with BA.2 and not even know it because a test was negative. Washington has 2 confirmed cases of the variant so far. The State Department of Health says it's too early to tell if we're going to see more cases or if this variant is more dangerous than others.
A lack of COVID testing supply is once again disrupting sports programs at schools around the region. Starting today, several games and practices in the Ephrata School District will be put on hold. This change affects athletics below the high school varsity level. Basketball and unified basketball, wrestling, stunt team, and JV cheer will not test, practice, or play until further notice. New testing guidelines from the Washington Department of Health are making it difficult for some schools to keep their athletic departments running smoothly. Earlier this month, the Meade School District had to cancel all high-contact sporting events until they received more tests. In an update to families, the Ephrata School District said it worked hard to ensure there were enough tests to accommodate these new rules, but the orders placed were either delivered with fewer tests than requested or were canceled entirely.
Local law enforcement from different departments were involved in 2 separate shootings yesterday. Spokane police tell us it was an emotionally charged call that officers responded to near Chief Gary Park around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Just a couple of minutes after they arrived, they shot and killed a man holding a knife to a small child. Coeur d'Alene police and Kootenai County deputies responded to a suicidal man in a home near an elementary school around 2 o'clock. Police say several hours later that man pointed the rifle at officers. They shot him. Today he is in the hospital.
8,500 U.S. troops could be headed to Eastern Europe. President Biden has put them on high alert for possible deployment in response to Russia's continued presence along the Ukrainian border. A Pentagon spokesman says most of the troops were intended to bolster NATO's quick response force, but would also be ready for other contingencies. Today, the Kremlin called the U.S. putting troops on alert, escalating tensions.
The Spokane man is suing World Relief, claiming the organization discriminated against him because he's gay. Emmanuel Campos Gonzalez was in the running to work for World Relief Spokane, but his offer was rescinded. When asked why, court documents state a policy which mandates all sexual activities of employees be within the, quote, biblical covenant of marriage between a man and a woman. And tonight at 6, we'll explain where this leaves Spokane's nonprofit sector when it comes to helping refugees in the inland Northwest.
Even though most children in Washington start public school at 5 years old, ours is the only state in the nation that doesn't require it until age 8. That could change with Senate Bill 5537, which would lower the minimum age for compulsory school attendance from 8 to 5 years old. On Friday, January 14th, some parents and members of the homeschooling community in Washington testified in opposition of the bill. They argue that families should choose when their children begin formal education. State Senator Lisa Wellman is the author of this bill and says an earlier educational start for children is important for their futures. The bill is now set to be discussed by the Senate Early Learning and K-12 Education Committee in executive session this Friday, January 28th.
Well, new this morning, the SAT exam is moving from paper and pencil to a digital format. Test takers will be allowed to use their own laptops or tablets, but they'll still have to sit for the test at a monitored testing site or in school, not at home. Administrators say this shift will boost the test relevancy as more colleges make standardized tests optional for admission. The format change is scheduled to roll out in the U.S. in 2024. We're back with that final check of the weather with Mark coming up right after this.